Hello everyone, I'm Arunima from Knit and Otter, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make Tunisian crochet pot holders. This is a support video for my pot holders. I'm not going to make an entire pot holder, but I'm going to show you a smaller version of the pot holders which you can follow along and make with me if you'd like. But I'm going to show you everything that you need to know to be able to make a full-size pot holder. So I'm going to begin by showing you how to read a chart, and then we're going to follow that chart and make the pot holder from that. This is the chart that we're going to follow in this tutorial, and I'm going to tell you the different parts and squares, what they mean and what the different symbols mean in this. So let's begin by talking about the two columns indicated by the red arrows. They are the row numbers, and there is a FR, that is the bottom row, which is the foundation row. It also counts as the first row of the pattern. And at the top there is BOR, which is the bind off row. So as you're making your stitches, you will bind off, and I'm going to show you how to do this later in the video, so you don't need to worry about it. I just wanted to point out that the bottom row in the chart is the foundation row and the top is the bind off row. Now the numbers indicated by the blue arrows are the stitches. So there is a total of 12 stitches in this that we're going to create. And the two so if you can notice that there are two columns with the alphabet E. Those indicate edge stitches for every row. So every row starts and ends with an edge stitch, and those two edge stitches are counted in the stitch count. So that's why the first and the 12th stitch, there are edge stitches, and the pattern will be made by the stitches that fall in between those. We're going to start with a slip knot and then make 12 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we make the foundation row stitches in the back bumps. There are multiple ways of making the foundation chain, but I always go into the back bump of the chain. So go to the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain and this is the second chain from the hook. I'm going to turn it around and find this back bump. I'm going to insert my hook here, yarn over, pull through. So that's one stitch. Now I'm going to do this for every chain. And here's the last one. So at the end of the forward pass of this foundation row, we should have a total of 12 loops on the hook. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And to make the return pass, we start with a chain 1. So this return pass is going to stay the same for all rows in this. We start with a chain 1 and then yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, and we do this until we have 1 loop remaining on the hook. Here, this is the end of the return pass of the foundation row. So this was the foundation row chain, and then we made the foundation row on top of that. So completed the forward and the return pass, and there is a total of 12 stitches in this row. Before we go further, I'm going to show you the anatomy of a stitch, which will help you understand how to make the two stitches, the reverse and knit stitches that are used in this pattern. So here I'm just going to pick one stitch here. It's the same for every stitch. You can see that there is this front vertical bar and there is this back vertical bar. So there are two bars that create this stitch. There's the front vertical bar, back vertical bar, and you can actually isolate this back vertical bar and see it on the other side. So this is the back vertical bar right here. So it's important to know this so that we can make the stitches that are needed for this pattern. Now, row 2 is a row of Tunisian reverse stitches. So I'm going to make a reverse stitch in every stitch from the previous row. We always start with the second stitch. So the loop on the hook at the beginning of the row counts as the first stitch. So we're not going to do anything over here. We're going to start from the next one, which is this one. And we're going to isolate that back vertical bar. Here it is. Yarn over, pull through. That made a reverse stitch. You could either isolate it from here like this, or you could just turn your project around and then find that back vertical bar at the back, whichever is more convenient, but you just have to pick up the back vertical bar from behind the project. I'm going to go ahead and make a reverse stitch in every stitch. Here, and I am here at the last stitch here, and this can get a bit tricky, but you have to find the two vertical bars that sort of make a upside down V, which is this here. So I'm going to insert my hook here, yarn over, pull through. So that's the end of the forward pass for row 2. Now to complete this, I'm just going to make the return pass, which is a chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 until there is one loop on the hook. Here we are. This is how it looks after completing row 2. Now row 3 is the exact same as row 2. So we're going to skip this first stitch. This loop on the hook will count as the first stitch or the edge stitch for this row. And then I'm going to make reverse stitches in every stitch. And then the edge stitch here by picking up these two vertical bars in the end, yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2 until there's one loop on the hook. Here, this is the end of row 3. Now row 4 is where the design actually starts. So in the pot holders, I have given them all a reverse stitch border. So there's 2 rows of reverse stitches at the bottom and the top, and there's 2 columns of reverse stitches on both edges. That helps giving it a nice frame to the designs in the center. It gives it a polished look, and it helps with curling. So there's multiple reasons why I use reverse stitches at the border, and I just thought I'd share that with you. Now, moving on to row 4, we're going to start making the center design that also has knit stitches. So we start with 2 reverse stitches. That's 1, 2, and there's 6 knit stitches. So before we go further, let me show you how to make the knit stitch. So you see here, we talked about the front and back vertical bars. So we're going to insert our hook in between these 2 bars, front to back, and then yarn over, pull through. So that's how we make a knit stitch. So I'm going to make 6 of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 reverse stitches. 1, 2, and then an edge stitch or last stitch to complete the row. So I'm going to pick up the 2 vertical bars at the end, yarn over, pull through. Now to complete this row, I'm going to make the return pass. So that's chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 until there's one loop on the hook. This is how it's looking at the end of row 4. You can see that we now have some reverse stitches and some knit stitches, and the design will start to take shape now. Now row 5 is exactly the same as row 4, so 2 reverse stitches, 6 knit stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 reverse stitches, and an edge stitch, and then the return pass. So here the design is a little bit more clear now with the knit stitches and the reverse stitches giving it a nice border. Now on to row 6. Row 6 also starts with 2 reverse stitches. And then we have 2 knit, 2 reverse, 2 knit, 2 reverse. So 2 knit, 2 reverse, 2 knit, and 2 reverse. And then the edge stitch. And I'm going to make the return pass. So that's how it's looking at the end of row 6. Row 7 is the same as row 6, so it's 2 reverse stitches. That's 1, 2, 2 knit, 2 reverse, 2 knit, 2 reverse, and then a edge stitch. And then the return pass, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, here. This is how it's looking at the end of row 7. Now row 8 is the same as rows 4 and 5. So it's 2 reverse, 6 knit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 reverse, 1, 2, and then the edge stitch, the return pass, that's the end of row 8. Now row 9 is the same as the previous row, so that's 2 reverse stitches, 6 knit stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 reverse, 1, 2, and then an edge stitch, and then I'm going to make the return pass. That's how it is at the end of row 9. Now we are at row 10, which is a row of reverse stitches. Here we are at the end of row 10. We're going to make the final row, which is also a row of reverse stitches, but this is the bind off row. So we're going to bind off as we make the reverse stitches. So the way we do that is we pull up a loop just like we would do when we're making a reverse stitch, and then we slip it through that first loop. So we don't add loops on the hook. You'll always have just one loop on your hook as you make this final row. So reverse stitch and then slip, reverse stitch, slip. Just make sure that this sort of making a chain here, it's not too tight when you're making your slip stitches. Here I'm at this edge, so here also I'm going to pick up the 2 vertical bars at the edge and then yarn over, pull through, and then slip. That completes this. It's a square, almost a square, so that completes this. At this point I'm going to fasten off, and I'm going to make another one of these exactly the same, and then I'm going to show you how to combine the two and actually make the pot holder. Here I have 2 of these now. They're exactly the same, and I'm going to combine them. I'm going to join them together with their backs facing each other to make the pot holder. And just one more thing here, I didn't cut the yarn when I started to make the second one, and it just there's no real reason for it. You could cut or not cut. We're going to hide the ends behind anyway, so you won't have to weave them in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and I'm going to bring this one down, and I'm going to combine them like this so the backs are facing one another. And I'm going to use a regular crochet hook, a 4.5 millimeters hook now, and I'm going to single crochet around. So here is my yarn. I'm just going to hide all the ends behind so I don't have to weave them in. I'm going to start doing a single crochet to join everything, every stitch. I'm just going into the edge stitches, and they'll line up perfectly well because they are the exact same stitch count. So here I am at this corner. If you see here, I've joined every stitch with a single crochet, and I'm just going to go in and pull the end here so it's out of the way. And now I'm going to make 3 single crochets in this corner. So picking up this here and the corner in the back panel, and I'm just going to make 3 single crochet stitches in the same spot because that's the corner. So 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go along this edge and join with single crochet stitches and then make 3 stitches at this corner. Here I'm at the corner again, so I'm going to make 3 single crochet stitches here. That's 1, 2, and 3. And this corner again. So 3 stitches here. 1. I'm going to take these ends and just hide them in the back so I don't have to weave them in. This is one of the best things about this project. I have exactly one end to weave in after this is done. So that's 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches, and then I'm going to go along this edge and join with single crochet stitches. Here, this is the last corner, the fourth one. I'm going to make 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to join with the first single crochet that I had made here. So here, that completes the join. At this point, I'm going to make a chain 5. I'm going to join this chain here in the very next stitch at the corner. And then I'm going to turn this around again, and I'm going to make 10 single crochet stitches in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to join again with this stitch here, and I'm going to fasten off. I will cut this yarn, and there is exactly one end to weave in. So this is what this tiny pot holder is looking like. At this point, I would go in and block this as well. If it is natural fiber, I just go in and, which I definitely recommend for pot holders, I would go in and put this in water, and I will squeeze out all the excess water, and I would then put this on the blocking board, stretch it out a tiny bit, and let it to dry. So that's how I would block this, and it's amazing how much it loosens the fibers and makes it a lot more soft after you've done that. I prefer to block most of my projects, but it's completely up to you. It is usable at this point, and I just recommend blocking for a more polished look and a good final product. So that's all there is to making these pot holders. You just need to know 2 stitches, and you can make a large variety of designs. You can create your own designs. You can make these for yourself. You can make these as gifts, and I think they're a lot of fun to make. I hope you will enjoy making them.